This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream... Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. It is an absolute pleasure to be able to bring this video to you today. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me. As always, it is very much appreciated, and I hope you enjoy what we've got coming up for you today. What we've got coming up for you is the second part of the 2025 Cheltenham Festival review, the second and final part of the review of the first spring festival of the season. In the first part of the video, we took a look at all the hurdles featuring horses identified on both my Patreon and my YouTube channel, just to see how they performed in the 2025 Cheltenham Festival over hurdles. Today, it is the time to take a look at the horses on the Patreon and the YouTube channel and see how they got on over fences. We brought you 5 or 6 hurdles yesterday. Unfortunately, we haven't got as many chases as possible in this video. In fact, we have only got 3 races to take a look at. Despite winning the Arkle last year with Gaelic Warrior, unfortunately I did not have a horse identified in this year's Arkle Champion Chase, which is always a disappointment really, as it is one of the blue-ribboned National Hunt races of the week. But the 3 races I'm going to show you 2 novice chases. We're going to start with the Grade 1 Brown Advisory Chase, which was the second race on the second day. Then we're going to take a look at a race that has been changed this year for the 2025 Cheltenham Festival. The race is a handicap for the first time and has been reduced from a Grade 1 to a Grade 2. It's basically the old Turner's Novices Chase, the 2.5 mile Grade 1 Novices Chase, won by the likes of York Hill and Galopin and Bob Ollinger in the past. There's the year Galopin de Chambre fell and Bob Ollinger won the race. I think that was in this race here, the Turners. The race has been reduced from a Grade 1 to a Grade 2 and has now been reduced into a handicap. We will bring you that race as well that was the second race on the third day of the festival, I think. And then we will bring you a race in open company from the final day, the third day. Of the final day, we'll take a look at the Grade 2 Mares Chase, a rare venture into open company in this week's Cheltenham 2025 review. Right, I think it's about time now that we can start the review. Like I said, no horses in the Arkle this year, so we're going to skip forward to the second day of the Cheltenham Festival and the second race. We'd already taken out, as people will know from looking at the hurdles, the first race on day 2, the 2.5 mile hurdle, courtesy of the New Lion, taking out the first race. So we were looking to take out the second race as well, the Grade 1 Brown Advisory, over 3 miles, 2.5 furlongs, this novice chase. We had 2 horses running for us in this race, both from the YouTube channel. We had last year's dominant novice hurdle winner, Ballyburn, trying to win at back-to-back Cheltenham Festivals. He actually won the race that we got, the Turners, that has been abolished to Grade 1. Ballyburn actually won that race last year, I think. And the other horse on the YouTube channel, from the YouTube channel, take a look at the Brown Advisory, was Lecky Watson. Unfortunately, no horses from the Patreon channel made it to what used to be the RSA Chase, what is now the Brown Advisory. So we are purely relying on the YouTube channel in this race for victory. It's about time now we can take a look at the race, I think, and we can see how they got on.
They're off. Race away for the Brown Advisory Novices Chase and make their way to number 1 of 19 with the yellow sleeves of Dancing City. Going to be the very narrow leader. Better Days Ahead, running in second place here. Then is fence number 1. A red jacket, red and white of Lecky Watson, nearest to us in the stands, was over it just about in third place. Then the best turned out winner, Gorgeous Tom, green and yellow colours, runs in fourth place. Favourite Ballyburn is the far side of him, the red cap, white sleeves, in 5th place at the moment as they race on to fence number 2. Another plain one at it now, and they clear it with the white cap of Stellar Story, just ahead of the first colours of Cater Bourbon, and they are in 6th and 7th places. So off they go to the far side of the course. Not a particularly strong gallop in the early part of the race. Another plain fence, number 3, coming up before the water, and it is Dancing City with a very narrow lead. It'd be about a half length ahead over Better Days Ahead, white and green jacket, a red cap in 2nd place. The water jump coming up now. This circuit's 4, it'll be 13 the next time round. Lecky Watson, red and white colours, will be about 3 parts of a length behind the leaders. Gorgeous Tom was a little bit awkward at that in the green and yellow. And Cater Bourbon has moved up places to go into 4th as they come to the first of 4 open ditches they'll take on the way round. And Cater Bourbon, an error there. Started over it and dropped a place. Gorgeous Tom went ahead of him again. Ballyburn, as the white sleeves, heads almost on the ground. He travels so strongly in the early part of the race as they jump another plain one heading up towards the top of the hill. The nose-banded Stellar Story up round the outside is now just ahead of Cater Bourbon, who started in last, moved to 4th after a couple of fences, but is now back in last place. Here's number 7 coming up. It's the open ditch at the top of the hill. Dancing City, Danny Mullins, big leap over it. And an error there from Ballyburn. He drops to the back of the field. Paul Townend has lost an iron. Getting it back now. So the favourite in some bother, Ballyburn, at the back of the field, but now back on an even keel. So an error at fence number 7 drops him to last position, but that is only 6 or 7 lengths off the lead, and there's plenty of time to go. Downhill for the first time in this Brown Advisory Novices Chase, and it continues to be Dancing City from the red cap of Jack Kennedy on Better Days Ahead. The red and white colours for Sean O'Keefe. Lecky Watson is widest on the course as they come to another plain fence now and running towards the home straight. That is the next fence they take, number 8. The 2 Jigginstown runners, white cap for Danny Gilligan on Stellar Story. First colours Patrick Mullins, Cater Bourbon. They are either side of Dara O'Keefe on Gorgeous Tom in the green and yellow. And Ballyburn, after an error at 7, drops to the back of the field, but in touch with the others, and they move into the straight. Now, this time in the straight, they've got 2 to jump. They're numbers 9 and 10. Very closely grouped, and they've not gone very fast. Dancing City on the right, the yellow sleeves, very narrowly in front. To Better Days Ahead, it's a short run then down to fence number 10, coming towards it now. Lecky Watson, the red and white, nearest to us, is in 3rd place. Very narrow 4th for Gorgeous Tom ahead of Cater Bourbon. And then comes Stellar Story, and Ballyburn continues to be the back marker in a closely grouped field. They're running away now on towards number 11 of the 19 fences. Dancing City and Better Days Ahead. Lecky Watson right up round the outside of those. There, Stellar Story with the white cap in 6th position was a little clumsy. Gorgeous Tom is in 4th place. Cater Bourbon is then in 5th. And then comes Stellar Story and still Ballyburn at the rear of the field. Away to the far side they go. Moving on now to number 12. Dancing City. Jumps it well. Went on by a length and a half there. A little slow at the back as Ballyburn. Coming to the water now, 13 it is this time. 2nd position to Better Days Ahead. Lecky Watson wide of those. Then Gorgeous Tom a length and a half behind, runs in 4th place. Cater Bourbon is next. And then Stellar Story and Ballyburn 2 lengths behind. Another open ditch coming up. This is number 14, the 3rd of the ditches. The yellow sleeves of Dancing City. Better Days Ahead around the outside. And then Lecky Watson in red and white. 2 lengths behind these Gorgeous Tom. The maroon of Cater Bourbon. And then the white cap on the maroon jacket of Stellar Story, and still just at the rear, 2 lengths behind those, is Ballyburn. So up to the top of the hill. Now they've only got 4 more to jump. The final open ditch is coming up. Dancing City continues to lead. It's a narrow lead though. Better Days Ahead and Lecky Watson have been close to him for a long way now. Top of the hill they come. 4th from the finish. Behind those and down is Cater Bourbon. Unseats the rider number 6. Cater Bourbon is out of the race. And slow leap as well from Ballyburn. Favourite is 4 or 5 lengths behind the other 5 that continue as they begin their journey towards home. It's Dancing City Better Days Ahead, Lecky Watson together. Length behind them is Gorgeous Tom. With Gorgeous Tom is Stellar Story. And Ballyburn trying to get back into it as they run down towards the third last fence. Moving on towards it now. It's still the yellow sleeves of Dancing City. From Better Days Ahead, and Dancing City an error there as they run towards a home turn. Lecky Watson is still with them. Gorgeous Tom is ridden along behind these. Then Stellar Story, followed by Ballyburn. They've got two fences to jump in the home straight, and running towards a home turn now, Lecky Watson in the red and white goes on to Better Days Ahead in second place. Gorgeous Tom is moved into third position. Stellar Story behind this, then Ballyburn and Dancing City. Lecky Watson at the second last. Good leap over it, landed by 2 lengths. 2 in second position is Better Days Ahead. Then Stellar Story, final fence, Lecky Watson, up and over, landed by 3 lengths and up the running now. Sean O'Keefe on Lecky Watson in the brown advisory, lead by 3 or 4 lengths. Second position, Stellar Story, and with this is Better Days Ahead, but it's Lecky Watson who wins. Second position, the judge to split the nose-banded Stellar Story and the red cap of Better Days Ahead. Behind those, Gorgeous Tom and Ballyburn.
Well, 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 boys and girls, what a terrific race that was. The Brown Advisory, the RSA Chase, call it whatever you will. The race was taken out by the YouTube channel in fantastic style, with a horse that fell short somewhat over hurdles, it's fair to say. Although he was placed in a Group 1 race, I think he was placed in the Lawless of Nays Novice Hurdle, Grade 1. But he was finishing around 4th or 5th, or maybe even further back than that in the 3 mile Grade 1 Novice Hurdles last year. This year, the horse has come out and won the Brown Advisory. Of as big as 28 to 1 in the mornings. For some reason, the SP shrank into 20 to 1. The Valley ran, sired Lecky Watson, out of a dam called Anna White, sired by Stowaway, trained by Willie Mullins and ridden by Sean O'Keefe, has taken out the Brown Advisory, running to a mark of 160. Second place, beaten 4 lengths. I think this horse might have won the Albert Bartlett last year. Stellar Story, 22 to 1 shot, sired by Shantu, out of a dam called Ballybolshoi, trained by Gordon Elliott and ridden by Danny Gilligan. Ran to a racing post rating of 154. And third was the Milan sired Better Days Ahead, out of a dam called Bonnie and Bright, who herself was sired by Topanora. Another one trained by Gordon Elliott, ridden by Jack Kennedy, running to a racing post rating of 154. Ballyburn, after that catastrophic error, really, it's only fair to say, made heavy work of getting round. Another horse from the YouTube channel, beaten 8.5 lengths in 5th place. Ballyburn went round the 4 to 7 shot favourite, sired by Flemonsforth, out of a dam called Old Moon, trained by Willie Mullins and ridden by Paul Towning. He was allocated a mark of 154, who, despite losing by a short head to Gorgeous Tom, was allocated 4 higher and up level with Better Days Ahead. But Ballyburn for the YouTube channel could only finish 5th. Dancing City and Key de Bourbon was the only one who failed to get round. But it was a win for the YouTube channel this time, courtesy of 20 to 1 shot Lecky Watson in the first chase of the 2025 Cheltenham Festival. That we had an interest in. Absolutely fantastic result. Makes me so satisfied to be able to identify horses like that. Let's take a quick look at them. Lecky Watson, still only 7 years old, you'll see. Well, they're backing out 5th at Cheltenham, 5th at Punchestown, running to marks in the early 140s. 3rd in a Grade 1, 2nd in a Grade 2. But over fences, the horse this year has taken his form to another level, as you'll see. 137 first time out when he beat the Supreme Novices Hurdle winner, Slade Steele, by 1 1/4 lengths. He then defeated Down Memory Lane by 8 lengths in a Grade 3 in January 2025, running to a mark of 154. Massive improvement there of 17. And then the horse was dragged out another 6 to 160, beating Stellar Story by 4 lengths to win the Brown Advisory at Cheltenham. So a very good chase campaign, it's fair to say, for Lecky Watson. The horse is currently entered on Sunday, the 20th of April, at the Fairy House Willow Warm Gold Cup Chase, Grade 1 race over 2 miles, 4.5 furlongs, on Sunday, the 20th of April. The other YouTube horse in the race, Ballyburn, also 7. You'll see how dominant the horse was over hurdles. 166 when beating Jimmy DeSoy, festival winner this week, over hurdles by 13 lengths, 166. He then raced to 152 when beating Jatara at Punchestown by 3.5 lengths. 157 when beating Slade Steel by 7 lengths at the Dublin Racing Festival. But the over fences, I don't think the horse has convinced. Despite being a Grade 1 winner when he beat Croke Park by 5 lengths, running to his best mark over fences of 160, he was only allocated 154 for that defeat. When he was defeated by Sergino, who didn't take his chance in the Arkle, he was allocated 158. And then when he beat O'Castle de Mott on chase debut, he was allocated 150. So if people take a look at the form, the hurdles form of 166, the chase form of 160, in one less run over fences, Ballyburn at the moment is looking a better horse over hurdles than he is over fences at this stage, which to me is quite interesting, seeing as though the horse is from the family of Dawn Run. Here's another horse that's entered at Fairy House on April the 20th in the Willow Warm Gold Cup Chase, a Grade 1 race, over 2 miles and 4 furlongs. I'm not too sure about this race for Lecky Watson. Me personally, I think it would be better over the extended trips, but it'll be interesting to see if either of these horses take their chance. But what a win for Lecky Watson. We're going to skip forward a day now and head to the third day of the 2025 Cheltenham Festival. And we're going to take a look at the second race on the card. The first time the race has been run as the Grade 2 handicap chase, novice handicap chase. It used to be the old Grade 1 at Turner's Novices Chase. Over 2 mile and 5 furlongs, the race opened up to handicap company and dropped down in grade by 1. We actually had 2 horses in this race. One, a good old-fashioned contest, Patreon channel versus YouTube channel. For the Patreon channel, we had the bridesmaid horse, really, Firefox, placed in no end of Grade 1 novice hurdles and heading in the same area, really, as Grade 1 novice chasers, Firefox. And for the YouTube channel, we had a horse that cost £700,000 from when he went from Gordon Elliott's Coldwell dispersal sale, bought by Paul Nichols, and into the ownership of Jed Mason and John Hales, who's had a bit of an out novice chase campaign, it's fair to say. Coldwell Potter bidding for a bit of redemption here at the 2025 Cheltenham Festival in handicap company. Coldwell Potter and Firefox both going for glory in the second race of day 3. I think it's called the Jack Richards Novice Handicap Chase. I'm not entirely sure, but what we can do is we can watch the race now and then we will see what we think.
That's it, they're off. Runners are sent on their way. 2 miles, 4.5 furlongs to the Grade 2 Jack Richards Novices Limited Handicap Chase. On the run towards the first of 17 fences, and Caldwell Potter just about landed in front at fence number 1. From Anyway and Es Perfecto, Handy Izzo Moore Park in the pink silks as they come to take fence number 2. Just in behind the pace there is Lord of Thunder, the blue and white with the noseband. Then to the inside, the red cap Firefox. closely attended to by Answer the Cave and Insurrection and Springwell Bay, and Densworth and Nürburgring as they take fence number 3. Pickrock is towards the rear of the field alongside Asian Master and the other Mozzie. More towards the inside is San Salvador. The Dickinstown House pair at the back, they're racing together. Shambally Kid with the white cap, the star cap for What's Up Darling. The field begin to enter the home straight. 4 fences up the home straight the first time. And as they race back towards home, it's Caldwell Potter who leads by a length and a half. To O'Moore Park, Lord of Thunder, Nürburgring and Densworth, and S Perfecto and Anyway to the inside, the white jacket with the yellow cap. Then goes Insurrection in midfield with Springwell Bay just in behind him in the white jacket with those mauve stars as they take fence number 4. They're all safely over there and continuing to be led by Harry Cobden on board Caldwell Potter. From O'Moore Park and S Perfecto in the blue and yellow, then Lord of Thunder. Densworth put in a good jump there in 5th place. From Anyway, Firefox, Springwell Bay, Nürburgring and Asian Master. Then Insurrection and Answer the Cave. Behind Answer the Cave is DiCaprio, who gets that first call on the inside of the white and the green. Then San Salvador and Moon d'Orange. From the other Mozzie in those black and pink colours, Shambally Kid, Pick Rock. And back marker is What's Up Darling, who made a slight mistake there going out over fence number 6. This will be the final fence in another circuit's time, and it's Caldwell Potter who led them over fence number 7. Caldwell Potter there from O'Moore Park in second place in the pink jacket. Back in third, then toward the inside is S Perfecto. Then Lord of Thunder and Densworth. Another length and a half back to Anyway. Then Firefox and Asian Master racing together from Springwell Bay, the top weight. Then Nürburgring in dark green and white. Answer the Cave is against the running rail. Just ahead of Insurrection. Then DiCapo in the white and green. San Salvador, Moon d'Orange, Pick Rock, the other Mozzie. Then What's Up Darling and Shambally Kid complete the order as they race towards the next plane one. The first one down the back. Caldwell Potter led them over that fence, leading by a length and a half. To in second, O'Moore Park, and then came S Perfecto. Anyways behind those with Lord of Thunder and Densworth, and then Firefox and Asian Master as they come to take the water. That's fence number 9. Whole field streaming over okay, and now they go towards their open ditch. Fence number 10. It's Caldwell Potter by 2 lengths to S Perfecto at O'Moore Park over the ditch. Then Anyway, Lord of Thunder and Densworth. Followed closely by Firefox and Asian Master. Then Springwell Bay, who's just better than midfield. Nürburgring is behind him. Then came Insurrection, DiCapo, Answer the Cave, Pick Rock, blundered its way over their fence number 11. So on they go uphill then and racing towards an open ditch. Fence number 12. It's Caldwell Potter from S Perfecto at O'Moore Park at this ditch. Then came Anyway and Lord of Thunder. Densworth trailed the back legs a little there, but he's okay. Then Springwell Bay and Asian Master from Insurrection and Nürburgring and DiCapo. Answer the Cave is on his inside. Then the other Mozzie, and improving a little bit is What's Up Darling. Then came San Salvador in the light blue jacket, but he blundered quite badly there. There was also a mistake from Moon d'Orange. He's now dropped back to the last. So to begin this turn towards the next, which would be a plain one and will be 4 from the end. Fence number 14. It's Caldwell Potter by 2 lengths to S Perfecto, O'Moore Park and Lord of Thunder. Then came Densworth and Anyway. Moon d'Orange was very slow at the back of the field. He's getting a little way behind. So now the downhill run. They're on the way towards 3 out. And it's Caldwell Potter who leads from S Perfecto, Lord of Thunder, O'Moore Park and Anyway. Then Densworth in the dark green jacket, followed by Firefox and Insurrection. Springwell Bay trying to edge closer as they went over 3 out. But he looks to have gone there. Springwell Bay has gone. And also a faller there at the back was What's Up Darling, as Caldwell Potter will lead them on the approach towards home. They've got 2 left to take. Caldwell Potter from S Perfecto, O'Moore Park in third, Anyways in fourth, then Lord of Thunder. Nürburgring is beginning his challenge in the dark green and white, wider out. The other Mozzie is also now looking to come into it. This is 2 from the end. Caldwell Potter, he's over in front by a couple to S Perfecto, Anyway in third, then O'Moore Park and Nürburgring and Firefox racing down towards the final fence. Caldwell Potter, he's at it now and he's over safely. Caldwell Potter, he's landed clear by 5 lengths to Anyway. S Perfecto and O'Moore Park are chasing behind. Then came Nürburgring, but it's Caldwell Potter who's clear by 6 to 7 lengths, and he's not for catching. Caldwell Potter will win the Jack Richards Novices Handicap Chase. Caldwell Potter from home in second, Anyway. Then O'Moore Park and Nürburgring pretty tight for third. S Perfecto behind those, clear from Firefox, the other Mozzie, Insurrection and Asian Master.
Well, well, well. The YouTube channel has only gone and done it again. I think there with Coldwell Potter, an absolutely magnificent performance there, leading from tape to wire, as they say in America, to take out the Grade 2 Jack Richards Novice Limited Handicap Chase in emphatic style there for the YouTube channel. The second chase victory for the YouTube channel after the 2 hurdles victories for the Patreon channel yesterday. Safe to say that both channels have provided their weight in gold at this year's 2025 Cheltenham Festival. What a performance by Caldwell Potter, sired by Marteline out of a dam called Matney, who herself was sired by Laveron, trained by Paul Nichols and ridden by Harry Cobden, winning with a Racing Post rating of 157. An absolute slaughter job, really. No other horse, if people look at around the Racing Post ratings, no other horse was in the 150s rated in that race. In second place was the 125 to 1 shot anyway. Sired by Jukebox Jury out of a dam called Adira. Trained by David Kenneth Buds and ridden by Dara O'Keefe. That ran to a Racing Post rating of 144. And in third place was the Rich Richie horse, O'More Park, at 66 to 1, sired by Walk in the Park out of a dam called Gla na Gaetha. I'm sure I've butchered that. Apologies if I have. My Gaelic isn't very good. Sired by Presenting, and that one trained by Willie Mullins and ridden by Sean O'Keefe, running to a Racing Post rating of 143. They might have paid 700,000 for Coldwell Potter, but they got 64,300 back from that race in emphatic style. The Patreon horse Firefox could only finish 6th. The horse went off the 4 to 1 favourite, the Walk in the Park sired Firefox, out of a dam called Cute as a Fox, who herself was sired by Vinnie Rowe. Trained by Gordon Elliott, ridden by Jack Kennedy. Firefox ran to a Racing Post rating of 145 when managing to finish in 6th place. A bit of a disappointment, really, as to say, dropped down in handicap company there for Firefox. Take a look at both of these horses. You'll see that Coldwell Potter is actually entered on Friday, the 4th of April, in the 145 at Aintree, 3 miles, 1 furlong. Again, ridden by Harry Cobden, and he's a general 7 to 2 shot. For that race, I don't know if there is any other entries, no. Just the Mile May Novices Chase, Grade 1, which is a 7 to 2 shot, 3 miles and 1 furlong. Slight peeping trip by Coldwell Potter. Take a look at his form. You'll see there that 157 has really blown all his other chase performances out of the water this year. He was, in fact, a 152 rated hurdler when he beat Predators Gold by 6.5 lengths to win a Grade 1 in December 2023. His chase form was 135 at Carlisle, 134 at Carlisle on his debut when he won. Behind, I think that Django By might have won the Arc. He beat Coldwell Potter by 13 lengths. Went into a mark of 146, a slight improvement again at Windsor, when he was beaten by another Patreon channel horse by 4 lengths, Gidley Park, ran into a mark of 149. 157, by far and away the best chase performance the horse was put in, and he really did look a top class novice chaser on that day, taking out the Grade 2 novice handicap chase. I think it's a Grade 2 anyway, it doesn't say, it is there in the course and the class. And we've closed the race down. We'll take a look at the Patreon channel horse now, Firefox. Like I said, he is a bit of a bridesmaid, never the bride, really. This horse, he was placed in 3 Grade 1 novice hurdles at Cheltenham, Aintree and Punchestown last year, running to marks of 143, 147 and 150. This year, a pretty similar campaign over fences, winning first time out, beating Mossy Fen Park by 3.5 lengths. And then the horse has finished third in 2 Group 2s behind Croke Park and Madgeborough at the Dublin Racing Festival and over Christmas at Fairy House. And the horse was also second in a Grade 2, beaten by another YouTube channel horse, 5 lengths, Il Atlantique. We had some good novice chasers. They didn't quite make it to the Cheltenham Festival. Let's see what turns up in the next Spring Festival, which is later this week at Aintree. But you'll see there Firefox's performance of 145 when finishing 6th in this race. Sort of is what he is, rating of 150 over hurdles and 149 over fences and 131 in National Hunt spheres, which is probably the sphere he has excelled at the most, it's fair to say. The horse only has still yet to win a pattern race over hurdles and fences, despite all of those graded placed efforts. Firefox still awaits his first pattern race success, which to me is somewhat surprising, it's fair to say, judging on his form. Right, we're going to skip through now to the final day of the 2025 Cheltenham Festival and take a look at the third chase, the third and final chase we're going to bring you in this video. And it's the first step into in the chases into open company. And we're going to take a look at the Grade 2 Mare's Chase, a race featuring an old favourite from the YouTube channel, Allegory Devassi. She's run in the race a few times with mixed success, it's fair to say. She's never managed to win the race. But she has ran with credit this season, winning a couple more pattern races to add to her resume. So she went there, I think, with a fair chance in the Grade 2 Paddy Power's Mare's Chase. We will be able to take a look at this race now, and then we will see what we think.
They're off. Jump away for the Grade 2 Mrs. Paddy Power. Mare's Chase, Jeté Port drop right out at the back of the field as they make their way towards the first of 17 scheduled fences. And Allegory Devassi, pink colours jumping markedly out to her right. Over the first, she got over nimbly enough, but she did go right hand down. Leads up by a couple of lengths early, extending it over Dino Blue, the white cap, as they clear out over the second. Then the white-faced Bride's Hill, blue and yellow silks, is down at the running rail. Working across to She Could Be Anything in the yellow sleeves and Limerick lace, the star on the cap a little wider. Deeper still is Fontaine Collage in a dark blue jacket as Allegory Devassi gives the third fence plenty of daylight. Meanwhile, Royal Margot, dark blue and grey silks, is in the last group of 3. And then towards the rear of the field, Mayhem Mire in a red, white and blue jacket. And last of all, a further 2 or 3 lengths away at Jeté Port. And she would be probably about 10 lengths off the pace-setting Allegory Devassi, who brings them towards the end of the first half mile. Turns on in with an advantage of 3 lengths. Over Dino Blue, the white cap, and owner mate Limerick Lace, the star on the cap, second and third respectively. And then Bride's Hill, with Fontaine Collage out widest of all in the dark blue, followed by She Could Be Anything and Royal Margot. Mayhem Mire is last but one, and Jeté Port ridden with exaggerated patience as Allegory Devassi leads them over the 5th, jumping soundly enough. Slight error at the rear of the field from Jeté Port. Another pair of fences to take before one complete circuit ahead of them, and it's Allegory Devassi and Paul Townend in front by a little over 2 lengths. Tracked by Dino Blue, Mark Walsh, the white cap, sitting in second, and then Limerick Lace and Jack Kennedy in third. Again, Allegory of Devassi inclined to go out to her right. Bride's Hill is down at the running rail, the blue and yellow for Keith Donoghue as they close in now on fence 7. And then a small break to She Could Be Anything with the yellow sleeves in advance of Royal Margot jumping up on her inner. Fontaine Collage has got 2 behind as they turn to meet rising ground. Mayhem Mire is last but one, and Jeté Port at the tail. Almost single file stuff now. They're about to crest the rise and make the descent towards the 8th. Allegory Devassi with an uncontested lead, stalked by Dino Blue. Limerick Lace is racing on the far side of Bride's Hill. 2 or 3 lengths away, She Could Be Anything ahead of Royal Margot, the dark blue and grey. And then back to Fontaine Collage in a dark blue jacket ahead of Mayhem Mire, and Jeté Port remains last of all. And again, Allegory Devassi goes out to her right. Moving on now towards the water jump, approaching halfway in the Mrs. Paddy Power Mare's Chase. Allegory de Vassy not so far in front. Awkward there as well. She slightly bunny hopped it. Much more fluent leap in second from Dino Blue, who's got clear sailing up the running rail. And they close in on the first of a pair of open ditches. Brideshill is in behind the leading duo. Limerick Lace took off and landed in fourth. Ahead of She Could Be Anything, the Yellow Sleeves. Raw Margot down at the running rail, and then Mayhem Mire and Fontaine Calange, and last of all is Jetée Port, and they're heading now for the final mile, and there would still be 10 or maybe 12 lengths from first to last. Fontaine Calange has dropped out to the tail of the field, and there's the first to really begin to struggle. Allegory de Vassy leading them towards 6 outs, out to her right, but jumping soundly enough from Dino Blue. Brideshill is a very close third. Limerick Lace on the outer. She Could Be Anything, who is inching a little bit closer. 5 from home now coming up, but still a very long way out. Allegory de Vassy over Dino Blue. And then Brideshill, Limerick Lace, She Could Be Anything, Raw Margot. Mayhem Mire is being ridden along as they prepare to make the descent. A long gap has then developed Jetée Port and Fontaine Calange, who continue but tailed off. 4 out, Allegory de Vassy. Spring-heeled, again going right, but she gave it plenty of daylight, and she continues to allow Dino Blue clear sailing up the running rail. And Mark Walsh sitting quietly on the descent. Brideshill in the blue and yellow is edging into it. She Could Be Anything in fourth. Limerick Lace back to 5th. Then Raw Margot in the dark blue and grey, and over the third last they go. Allegory de Vassy joined by Dino Blue, who comes there travelling very strongly, it would seem. A long run now back towards the final 2 fences. They've got 3 furlongs left to go in the Mrs. Paddy Power Mare's Chase. Allegory de Vassy is now stared in the eye by Dino Blue. Brideshill trying to hunt down the leading pair. Back in fourth, She Could Be Anything. Limerick Lace well beaten. Here's 2 out. Dino Blue jumps into a narrow lead from Allegory de Vassy. Brideshill has got work to do. Dino Blue shaken up by Mark Walsh, asked to extend. Here's the last. Dino Blue over it. Allegory de Vassy is down, a tumbling fall. Brideshill is left a remote second. She Could Be Anything back in third. Dino Blue powering on up the Cheltenham Hill. Second in the race 12 months ago. Her 4th festival. She's in the winner's enclosure. Willie Mullins, Mark Walsh, JP McManus, Dino Blue. Brideshill in second. She Could Be Anything third. Mayhem Mire back in fourth. Allegory de Vassy is up, and so too Paul Townend.
Very good to hear that both horse and jockey were seemingly up okay there. Allegory de Vassy. I think, to be fair to Connections, she was starting to look a little bit held when she came down there, wasn't she? It's fair to say. Again, the problems, well, they're not problems. The horse jumps to her right. She's done that really throughout her career. So a track round Cheltenham, she's always going to give horses the chance to come up the inside. And that really was what was always going to happen there with the Mark Walsh ridden Dino Blue in the Grade 2 Mare's Chase. But a solid run from Allegory de Vassy, it's fair to say. It was disappointing to see her come down at the second last. But the winner of the race, Dino Blue, sired by Dr. Dino out of a dam called Blue Aster, who herself was sired by Astarabad, trained by Willie Mullins, ridden by Mark Walsh, and winning with a Racing Post rating of 163, which interestingly is higher than Caldwell Potter's rating in the Grade 2 Novice Handicap Chase. Second place, beaten 8.5 lengths, left in second really, Brideshill, sired by Dylan Thomas out of a dam called Wedding Cake, who herself was out of Groom Dancer, trained by Gavin Cromwell, ridden by Keith Donoghue. Brideshill running to a mark of 155. And the horse left in third, 14 lengths behind, She Could Be Anything, sired by Malinas out of a dam called Cutmore Girl, trained by Gordon Elliott, ridden by Danny Gilligan, running to a mark of 144. Take a look there at Allegory de Vassy. Was given a Racing Post rating of 155 for falling at the last, sired by No Risk At All out of a dam called Ortignac, who herself was sired by Solon, I think that is, trained by Willie Mullins, ridden by Paul Townend, 155. You'll see there 11 stone 2, Allegory Devassi, 11 stone 7, Dino Blue. But the ratings had Allegory Devassi at 155, level with Brides Hill, who also had to carry 11 stone 5. So Allegory Devassi probably came off third best in the ratings behind that race. I do think she would have held on, though, to defeat Brides Hill for second place. I do think that. But a good solid run there by Dino Blue to take out the final race I'm going to show you, the Mare's Chase. We can take a look at the form of Allegory Devassi. You've seen now it's her 20th start, and the mare has won 7 races. So it's quite difficult to call her a failure. I think this year she's been quite a consistent mare, it's fair to say. Grade 3 winner over novice hurdles, beating Brandywine all the way back in 2022. She then won a couple of Grade 2 Mare's Chases at Limerick and Thurles, running to 153 and 157, before finishing second behind Impervious in the 2023 Mare's Chase, running to a mark of 155. Last year she only won a listed race at Clonmel, and 2 listed races, at Clonmel and Naas, but she was running to around the 155 mark in both of those races. But you'll see then she was only 4th at last year's Mare's Chase, beaten by Limerick Lace. And those 2 runs of 128 and 124 look to have exposed her in Grade 2 and listed company in May and November this year at Punchestown and Clonmel. But to be fair, the horse has come back well, winning a Grade 3 again at Fairyhouse. And she's put three very consistent runs there, 154, 152 and 155. And that really is something she hasn't really done throughout her career yet. There was 2 there, you see, 155. There's a couple there, look. But they're in between there, 153, 157, 155, and then 150. Went second behind Instit in a listed race at Fairyhouse in April. And then third behind Impervious again, but well beaten that day in the Grade 2 at Punchestown. But yeah, it's hard to say, I think, aged 8, that Allegory Devassi is a back number. I think this year has probably been arguably her most consistent season, and we probably will plod on with her, aged 9 years old, in these mares' races next season. Very creditable effort, really, but sadly falling at the last. Right, I think I can end this video here now. Thank you very much to everybody for taking the time to watch this video. As always, it's very much appreciated. Whereas yesterday was one for the Patreon channel over the hurdles, today has definitely been one for the YouTube channel. Over fences with victories of Coldwell Potter and Lecky Watson. Ballyburn, unfortunately, letting the YouTube channel down, as well as Allegory Devassi, and an average run, what he is run, really, from Firefox. What I will do, will leave you a copy of the National Hunt playlist so you can all see what National Hunt racing has been going on since on the YouTube channel. But a quick remember that all the new National Hunt horses will now be on the Patreon channel, so head to Patreon if you want to follow any National Hunt horses that are coming up in the meantime. But yeah, it's a good day for the YouTube channel, and I will also give everybody an opportunity to subscribe to the channel who has watched this video and has so far chosen not to subscribe. I will also give you an opportunity to do so. Well, I can end this video here now. Thank you very much. What we've got coming up, Aintree Festival coming up next week. Always a fascinating week of racing featuring the United Kingdom Grand National. I can't remember what the favourite is. Iroko for Ireland's biggest gambler, JP McManus, was towards the head of the market last time I looked. Not one of mine. I don't know what horses I've got until we take a look nearer the time what horses I've got that have made the cut for the Grand National. Probably not many because it's not my sort of race. I don't think any videos will probably have been made on any Grand National horses this year, but I'm sure there will be a couple of entries that have been flirted with on Possibles lists for us to get stuck into. Right, I'm going to end this video here now. Take care, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Enjoy your weekend coming up. It's only Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your week and enjoy your upcoming weekend. Look after yourselves and your loved ones. Take care of yourselves and goodbye.